No, Avatar.
Oh, we were talking about Ren and Stimpy.
You're talking about Ren and Stimpy.
If you're comparing who's better, Airbender or SpongeBob, it's Airbender. But
yeah,
Airbender.
Yeah, come on, dude.
I love SpongeBob, but it ain't beat Airbender.
Airbender wins. Wait, Airbender was on Nickelodeon?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Not for very long, but it was on.
I retract my previous
3
statement.
seasons?
I was going to say, it's like 3 or 4
I retract
seasons.
my previous statement.
Well, 6 seasons, I guess. If
You know
count
what? I
Cora,
forget
but-
that it came out when I was when I was younger. It was when we were in high school, wasn't it?
It came out, I want to say it came out in the mid-2000s.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It must have been
Because now, like,
tail end of high school.
I watched it with you on Netflix. So in my head, I'm like, yeah, it's a fucking Netflix show.
No.
I forget it's that fucking old. All right, bet.
live action, but yeah, no, it's a Nickelodeon from years ago.
God, that
Now, if you're comparing
live
Ren and
action's so
Stimpy
good.
and SpongeBob,
Yeah, that's a little different.
that's a
then I'm gonna take.
that's
SpongeBob.
like,
I'm
you
gonna
know,
take SpongeBob.
that MGK Taylor Swift.
But, ladies and gentlemen, we are, of course, live. That's not what today's episode is about. Welcome into
Should be.
Velocity Movies in
I will.
Review.
I'm gonna stab you.
We're about to get a fight here, maybe. Who knows?
That's why I wore my UFC shirt.
Welcome into the show. This is Velocity Movies in Review. I'm your host, Kyle Leonard. Each and every Sunday, we gather around this table and talk about a movie franchise that is near and dear to our hearts right now. We are, of course, doing the Rocky series, including the Creed series, because same universe, you know?
Mm-hmm.
If you like the show, you can go to twitch.tv/VelocityPod, where you can subscribe to the show, comment, or follow the show, interact in the comments, and let us know your thoughts on movies when we talk about them, like today's movie, Rocky Balboa, the final movie in the Rocky part of the Rocky franchise. Feels like the end of an era, you know?
Sure, we won't see this guy again.
Yeah, he's probably not coming back.
No.
Certainly not to fight,
Over.
but
Certainly not to fight. Thank God.
Talking about Polly, right?
he ain't coming back. We know that.
Ugh.
Rip Polly.
If you're more of an audio podcast listener, that's okay too, because you can go to Spotify and Apple Podcasts, where you can type in Velocity Entertainment and find over 200 episodes of In Review of Velocity Entertainment Standard, the regular podcast where we talk about nerdy shit. It's great. You can also comment and leave 5-star reviews on both Apple and Spotify.
You pause so
Yeah,
hard.
you're like-
you can comment and leave. And then you get on you just pause so hard at the worst spot. Comment and leave.
Comment and leave
And leave.
a 5-star,
A 5-star review.
on those platforms. Of course, joining me, we have Tanner Else and Nick Jurgensen. Johnny and Jordan both bitching out on us this week. You know what I'm saying?
Hose.
For sure.
Well, you know,
Well,
okay
Jordan's
with
Jordan's
Jordan.
on vacation.
Jordan has an excused absence. Johnny
Jordan's
a
on
little.
vacation.
Johnny a little bitch.
Johnny's just tired from work, and I was like, man, we ain't running a marathon. But you know what? It is
You know what?
It is, baby.
They both
You
got
know what
AIDS.
it is. He told me a few days
You know
in
what, Johnny?
advance, which is thankful.
You can't win a marathon without putting some Band-Aids on your nipples, all right?
All I'm saying, Johnny, is that it's not about hard. It's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit
Yeah.
and keep
Keep
moving
moving
forward.
forward.
How much you can handle and keep moving forward. You know what I'm saying?
That's how winning is done.
That's how winning is done. You know. All I'm saying is that like to be
Also-
like too tired for like this podcast, you
I
gonna get.
can't believe Johnny's too tired to sit down.
You know. Maybe he worked. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he
I'm
just said.
just
I'm pretty sure he's just exhausted.
I'm just sitting
I'm
here
just
listening to him rip on Johnny. So ha ha,
shit.
Johnny. Ha ha.
If we're gonna make fun of Johnny about anything, it would be him being Mexican and can't like be able to handle spicy food at all. So I'd be
That's true. You can't eat spicy food.
you let a little ginger eat a tamale in front of you and you cried.
Ooh.
I think he tapped out. I don't think he finished it. I don't think he finished
You guys
it.
weren't looking. I wiped a tear away from his eye.
I think Zach had to finish it for him.
Zach beat him?
Yeah.
Zach
Oh,
likes spicy
that's-
food.
that's
Johnny!
what we're talking about.
Oh.
Old
Yeah.
Freckles over here can eat spicy food, but Johnny can't.
Oh, as he chugs the Celsius.
I've never called Zach. I call my girlfriend that all the time because she's like, "Yeah, I'm Colombian," and I'm like, "Okay, Freckles."
Okay, you didn't have to word it like Zach. Zach. Zach in the chat says, I did have to finish Johnny.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's
Why are you saying it like you had to jerk
Yeah.
him off on the couch? You know what I'm saying?
Why didn't you jerk him off on the couch? Is what we're asking.
Rocky Balboa was released on December 20th of 2006. This fucking movie's almost 20 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Stop.
I don't like hearing that.
Don't you ever say that 2006 is 20 years ago. Don't. It's not real.
I want to hear something crazier.
What?
I graduated the year before.
Son of a bitch. Before this?
before.
Is this something you saw like in
05.
theaters then? Or?
Yep.
Yeah, he was an adult.
No, I never seen it. The first time I saw this movie, I finished it 10 minutes ago at the stoplight.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It's the first time I've ever seen it.
Comes in at an hour and 42 minutes. Much appreciated. I love these movies that just clip by at a good pace. Drags, the beginning, first half. Is all with these Rocky movies. The first half is usually kind of like that. Directed once again by Sylvester Stallone with a budget of $24 million. The box office return.
It shows.
Anybody? Box office return?
Let me.
In 2006, I'm gonna say 190.
190.
Oh, I'm gonna go
I feel that's high.
189.
Why would you go down on the prices? Right, you go 191.
Because the box office for this movie was a good 156 million.
Fuck.
He got you with the price.
finally got
He
me.
prices right.
Price is right. Yep.
Whenever we're doing this, I remember Daniel Tosh had a fucking bit about it where he was like, "What was it? What was the highest number? 800, 801. Fucked your day up, asshole."
Yeah, of course the budget. Yeah, the budget for this movie is very low, which you can tell. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah,
There's some good shots in it
A lot
though.
of this movie is shot in neighborhoods,
yeah.
and
As are all the other ones.
probably the most of the budget went to paying
HBO.
HBO.
HBO
Yeah.
and Stallone and probably Tarver, right?
Antonio Tarver.
Antonio Tarver. Probably that's where most of the budget went.
Yeah.
was
No,
paying those three.
But it actually looked like a legit fight.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
we'll
I was
talk
talking
about
about
That's
yeah.
that's.
We're
what
gonna talk
was
about
cool.
that a lot because
I appreciated
this one,
that. I did.
I'm gonna. Can I talk about my most hated part of this entire movie?
Just give me your thoughts in general. What do you
Thoughts in
think
general?
about Rocky Balboa? Taylor?
It's good. It's like you start this movie and you're like, cash grab, stupid. Why do they do this? But then you get a lot of heartfelt stuff and a lot of emotion. You get the death of Adrian and like his little tour that he brings Paulie on, and then you finally get Paulie admitting, "I fucking suck and I was a dick to her for her entire life." And
I don't want to go back.
That's all I ever wanted to hear because fuck you, dude. Yeah, you get all the emotional stuff in the first half and it's kind of nice getting it. I thought I was gonna hate it, but I liked it. And then you get fucking montage time, and then from like the movie just picks up right at montage time and it doesn't really let off. Kind of like it.
Right.
This
What did you say is your least favorite part you were gonna say? And then
That
you didn't.
fucking girl in the bar.
Oh,
And
little
her
birdie.
ghetto, the
Oh,
ghetto
the
way,
other
she,
one.
yeah.
the cringy ghetto way she talks. I clench my butt cheeks that whole scene.
You ain't no better than me.
You ain't no.
You ain't no better
Why
than
don't you
me.
come over here and sit with me and my friends?
That's Philly.
Fucking hate her, dude. If I saw that actor in real life, I might give her one, dude. I don't know.
Nick, your first time seeing Rocky Balboa. What did you think about it, man?
Dude, it was sad. I didn't know Adrian died.
Yeah.
I didn't know she died. Like I was hoping it said Polly.
Talia Shire died
Like-
in real life too, right?
No.
No.
I don't think
Is
so.
she still alive?
Yeah,
I think so.
I think she's still alive.
Less sad now. I thought. She
I don't know.
I thought she died in real life.
She died
I
for
was
real.
I don't know if she's alive now.
Okay.
Oh,
because it's
now
been
I don't
20
know.
years.
But
since
during the movie, she was alive.
because it's been 20
Like,
years
making
since
it.
2006. But in the movie, I think she was alive.
Yeah, I liked the movie. I thought it was really good. I thought it was good. There was some parts in
You
it.
guys, we do a whole lot of hear me outs.
Oh God. Okay.
She's 78, but hear me out. I still might.
No.
I still might. She looked good for 78, dog. I'm just saying. I might.
That's crazy.
I still might.
That's crazy.
Put them glasses on for me.
Take her to the
Put them
zoo.
on for her and then back her into a corner. You know.
Oh
forgot
yeah.
about that, forgot about that.
I mean, that was
Maybe I'll
that
ask
was
her.
5 movies ago. You know.
Yeah. Anyway, it was a
Rocky
good.
5 clears all. Obviously.
It was a
Later wheel in the chat says. Our list disagrees a little bit.
Rocky 5 is doo-doo.
Good, it's garbage.
Rocky 4 is the best, and everybody knows it.
No,
Listen, last week we did talk about Rocky 5, and I will give him the benefit of the doubt if he's not being facetious, which I think he's probably just trolling.
Yeah.
But it's not as meanly bad, I said last week, as everybody.
It's
makes
not
it
as
out to
horrible
be.
as like I was joking about. However, it is definitely not.
It's
anywhere
definitely the
near-
worst of these Rocky movies.
Yeah.
but
It's definitely bad.
but not like
not as bad as everybody like makes fun of it for being.
But
It's like
because
the
it's the
Nickelback
worst
effect,
one,
you know?
everyone's gonna make
Yeah.
fun of it.
It's like the Nickelback effect, you know.
Yeah.
it's not like like Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, Jack and Jill, then Rocky 5, but it's still pretty fucking low. All right.
Yeah, it's pretty low, but it ain't lower than Jack and Jill for sure.
My thoughts on Rocky Balboa kind of the same. I kind of see how much Rocky cares about this franchise and stuff in this movie, just with the little things that he does. Rocky's got a folding chair that he just puts in a tree right by Adrian's grave. Like it's just
Still takes care of the
Give us
neighborhood.
a little fan service too. I like it.
it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, of course Rocky's there every single day. Of course he doesn't want to carry a chair from his car.
Yeah.
Of course he's just gonna throw it in a tree nearby. He's gonna pull it out. It's just more care. It's just the little things in this movie that show you that like, hey, Stallone really does care about Rocky, and like, it's done really, really well. Even like, all the Little Marie stuff is kind of weird, but like to say,
Yeah,
I was gonna
we're
say-
gonna talk about
We're
that.
gonna talk about that.
That's what I was gonna say. Is one of the things I didn't like about the movie was that why did they bring that? But why did they bring the creep?
Screw
Rocky
you,
back?
creepo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they could have just said we went to school together. It would have been a new character.
it's
Why
one
they?
of those. It's one of those things where those characters' steps in Little Marie are removed from the movie, and it doesn't change anything. Unfortunately, like she doesn't do anything to like propel him into like a different place. Not like Rocky does.
Could you imagine wanting to hook up with a girl so bad that you just let her son with no boxing experience in your corner against a world champion?
Hey man,
Yeah.
Rocky didn't want to hook up with her, did he?
No, they were friends, but it was just weird. It was weird why they did it.
I'm gonna stop you right there, big dog. He didn't want nothing to
I
do
feel
with
like he wanted to.
I feel like he
No,
wanted
I
to.
feel it was just friend. I didn't feel that.
Like she even like gave him that awkward kiss in the hotel room.
I was
which
just gonna say.
which was less awkward when I watched it this time around. I got more like, "Hey, good luck" vibes from it
Yeah.
instead of being like, "Hey, invite me into your hotel room, bag me like a screen door in a hurricane." You know what I'm saying? But
What'd you think about that?
that's not the vibe I got from it.
When
this
you
time.
put it like that,
This time,
I didn't get a vibe like that, but it's just
the whole time
weird
I'm like,
to me
yeah, I
that they
feel like
brought
he's-
that back.
feel like he's like, I'm lonely. I'm gonna hang out with this girl that I walked home once when she was 11.
Yeah,
yeah, you can do that though, and still not want to also
No,
have sex with somebody.
absolutely.
Like, you can have companionship with a friend. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah,
He is old.
I am lonely.
He is old,
and
but in my
Paulie-
head, I'm just like, he's doing this for a reason.
I am lonely. Polly sucks. My kid doesn't want anything to do with me because I.
This is putting it into perspective for me, but
You know what I'm saying?
which is another thing too. I thought that it was kind of cool in the movie how he could see that his son didn't want to do anything to do with him, but he gave him that space
Right.
because he's Rocky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you know,
just what Rocky does. You know. Like,
Yeah.
He's a very.
he's a very caring
Nobody's
dude.
got a heart like Rocky.
something wrong?
Yeah, I'm standing from this angle, and it looks like he don't like me. Like, he just points out the obvious.
He used to hold you in my hand, just like
Yeah,
this.
just like the
Fun facts about Rocky Balboa: the actor and real life boxer who portrayed Spider Rico in the original Rocky reprises his role here as Rocky's buddy and kitchen help in Adrian's restaurant. So,
reading the Bible, wasn't he? Isn't that
I
what he's
believe
doing?
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eating and reading the Bible, and then later he's doing the dishes.
With a shirt off. Hell yeah.
And Polly's still racist as bum.
That's true. Bolly's still racist as always.
Bolly's
Yeah,
worse.
because Tanner had asked me like, I wonder if that's the same actor. I was like,
It
it's in my
is.
fun facts. It
Yes.
is the same actor, but 20 years later,
Yeah, still looking good.
more than 20 years, probably 35 years
35
later.
for him.
35 years later since
Because
we've
Rocky
seen-
got lucky.
and he says it in the movie too. You already got lucky in our fight. I'm like, oh man, shut up, Spider Rico. Didn't this dude go on to like be the heavyweight champion? Shut up.
In,
Yeah, I
in
know.
Tanner's fun facts, was Rocky's only win by ground and pound. He straight up knelt down and kept punching that dude.
It's true.
Yeah, that's true.
The turtles make an appearance near the beginning of this movie and are the same turtles from the first. Almost 35 years old at the time of this movie. So
He
great.
still has them to this day.
He does. They're still. I
They're-
think I
like,
said it
they're
in the
like
beginning of
60
Rocky
or
1.
something. Or?
They're like 47 and 48.
Cuff and link.
Mhm.
47 and 48, I think, or whatever is what the age of them are now, which is nuts. Tanner will know this, but I put it in here anyway. The computer simulation fight was based on the 1970 super fight, which pitted Muhammad Ali against Rocky Marciano.
Still don't like simulated computer fights, but whatever.
I like how this movie.
The only
had
reason this one was
everything in it,
accurate
though.
is because Rocky was using his forehead to block stuff for the first 30 seconds of this.
Yeah, the first
All right,
the
this is
first 10
accurate.
seconds of the fight, I said that to
It's real
myself too. I was like,
accurate.
"Up there it is. He's using his head again."
The
Yeah.
best defense is a big ass
But
forehead. you
there's
know?
a lot of big like HBO, ESPN, like
Yeah, a lot
Damn.
of sponsorship. in this
Yeah.
movie. I think we move away from that in Creed, though, and move
Yeah.
more towards
Never
like, the
seen 'em.
DAZN stuff.
never
But-
seen him.
We'll get there. According to Stallone, Carl Weathers refused to grant the production permission to use archived footage of him. The brief clip of the fight between Rocky and Apollo was created using a body double. Probably comes from him wanting to come back for Rocky 5 and then being like, no, you're dead.
You're dead.
Hey, there was something I did see though. It said Adrian's established in 1995. Did they say that in another movie that they were going to start a restaurant?
No, they never mentioned it.
Because I just saw that and I was like, 1995. I was like, did they say that they were going to start a restaurant?
And I'm assuming, I guess we don't know, but I'm assuming he started the restaurant after she passed?
No, she died in 2002, according to the gravestone. She would have been
okay.
54 or something, according to the
really?
gravestone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was just curious.
Yeah,
if-
they never mentioned that they're going to open a restaurant. It's probably just something that they're like, it kind of makes sense for Rocky.
Yeah.
Restaurant,
Mhm.
telling boxing
Philadelphia,
stories.
Italian dude.
It is
Wow.
inspired by, I forget, I didn't write it down, but him telling boxing stories and stuff to customers that are eating and stuff is inspired by another real life boxer who opened a restaurant. Did the
Oh,
same
it does the
thing.
same thing.
Jack something.
Dempsey.
Mehoff.
Jack Dempsey.
Jack Dempsey.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense now.
Inspired a lot by him. Jack Mehoff.
Sorry, I was like,
Jack who-
no one
Jack
got
who
that. Thank
Mehoff.
God.
Mike Hunt.
Mike Hunt. Yep.
Mine was better.
Oh, we had some dude had to try that in the library. Nah, dude, come on. Look at me.
What if he showed you an ID and it actually said that? How big of a
I
dick
take
would you
picture
feel?
of his ID and do whatever he asked me to do.
After the release of this film, critics hailed the fighting scenes as the most realistic in the entire Rocky saga. On the DVD, Stallone hypothesized that a major factor in this realism was that he used realistic sound effects for punches. When a punch lands in the film, the sound used was a real punch, whereas in the previous films, the sound for punches had included shotgun blasts, broken bottles, chains, baseball bats hitting wet leather. And you go back and watch some of these
Shotgun
movies,
blast?
That makes sense, though.
yeah, you go back and you watch some of these movies, and like when Clubber Lang hits somebody, you're like, boom! You're like, oh, that was a shotgun.
Fucking Resident Evil up in here, Jesus.
Drago's definitely baseball bat, wet leather.
It has to be shotgun blast.
Which
Oh,
is
couple
really,
shotgun
which is
blasts,
just
but-
really funny.
That's crazy.
That's all I got for fun facts. If we want,
I gotta go back and watch 3 and 4 again now. So I can
Yeah, listen to the sound design on the punches. Like you
let's
can
play.
definitely
Let's
like
play a game. What sound is it?
you can definitely like hear them ringing out in like that doesn't sound like a punch.
Yeah. Okay. Bet I gotta check that out again.
I didn't even notice it, but now that you say it.
The plot of Rocky Balboa is not unlike the plot of any other Rocky movie. Rocky starts off real sad, gets motivated, and then fights, and that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yep.
Rocky Balboa, now of course in his 60s.
I still
53,
think this
right?
story is better than
It
the
says
last like
60s
3
here in the
movies.
notes that I was looking at.
Okay.
So, 60 flat, 60 years old.
Oh, 60. Okay, 60. I thought you
60.
said 60s.
Yeah, yep. That's what Wikipedia told me when I wrote it down.
This story is better than the last 3 movies, though, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Movie opens, we see that he is retired from boxing and living a quiet life as a widower. Unfortunately, Adrian has passed away.
I almost cried.
Having the love of his life, Adrian, fall to cancer 4 years ago. And it's the 5th anniversary, I believe, right? 4th or 5th anniversary of it.
Be the
Gotta do
4th if it
do
was
the
06.
tour. We gotta do the tour, Polly.
We do got to do the tour. Rocky, of course, does do a annual traditional tour of the things that he did with Adrian, including but not limited to going to the pet stop. Look at it's all closed up. The pet store's all closed now. Taking Polly out to the
Skating ring.
The skating ring,
It's
it's
now
not
torn
there.
down, and Polly's not having it.
I want to go
Uh,
backwards.
Or his apartment, I guess.
Yeah, and you get the little like Force Ghost.
Yeah.
Adrian at the bottom of the steps always makes me laugh.
He's like, hear me out. So there's the part where he's like got the little foot, he's like talking, but he's like talking to Polly, but looking at the little ghost thing of her. And he's like, and I held on my hand, and she took it, and she trusted me. And I'm like, and then you brought her upstairs and like assaulted her, bro. We left that part out.
We see that Rocky does have a restaurant now named after his beloved former wife, Adrian. I say former now because she's dead.
She did.
Fun fact.
All right.
Dead.
Yeah,
Beep, beep,
at the end of the
you're dead.
tour, yeah, Paulie does kind of get after Rocky about like, hey man, we can't live in the past. And Rocky's like, what the fuck, man? Why are you being such an asshole about it? And he's like, hey, you treated her good. Like I didn't. Like you think I wanted to like deal with all of this? Nah, I treated her bad. I didn't treat her good. Paulie finally admitting, like what we've all been saying for 5 movies, you suck.
And then he fucked up.
And then he blamed it on black people, which is crazy.
He did.
It's crazy. Absolutely
Fucking
crazy.
wild, dude. It's Black History Month.
But I did like that, though. He just fucks off stage left.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, I mean, he's floating around every
See,
now
and
and
this is the
again.
first time I saw the movie. I thought for sure he wasn't coming back.
Yeah,
and then he fucking
pops
comes back.
up in the when he gets
The whole movie.
fired and stuff later. But
Yeah.
Oh, we see him, quite a bit more, I feel like.
yeah.
He's
he
good
does have
You're at
that
the
one
restaurant
line.
2 or 3 times.
He's a good painter.
Yeah, they're there during the montage. There for the fight.
Which is like crazy. Like Paulie's painting stuff.
This is good painting. Like it was
Like-
legit.
this is a plot that like
And he's
All the-
doing it in the
the
and
only
he's
thing
doing
that
it
pissed
in
me
the
off
fucking
about this
meat
is he's
plant.
in the meat plant.
Yeah, and he's painting.
There's no meat on hooks.
nope.
It's the cleanest meat plant I've ever seen, and he's just sitting there fucking painting at 2 in the morning. I don't know why that threw me off so bad, but I'm like, what the fuck are
Yeah,
you
he
doing?
was just
And he
I
wonders
thought it
why
was
he
so
got fired.
random.
Because you're painting
at
2 in the morning. Fucking meat
we do
packing
get that pretty heartbreaking line where Paulie's like, "Are you mad because Adrian left you?" And I was like, "She didn't leave me, Paulie. She died."
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm like,
Yeah, that
"Man."
was
And of course, this is all bubbling over because his relationship with his son Robert is also eroding. He's a successful corporate accountant now, and doesn't
That's
really
what it
want
was.
much to do with Rocky because when they look at him, they see Rocky, and he kind of wants to distance himself from that name. As hard as Rocky might try to pop in to him at work and stuff and stuff, he's still just like, "Hey man,
go see your
good
mom.
job."
Yeah.
Like sorry it's the anniversary, but like, hey, I got things to do. And Rocky's like, yeah, whatever. Like, good luck. In true Rocky fashion, just being a complete sweetheart.
He was a
I
sweetheart.
always laugh too when he takes a picture with his boss.
Yeah.
People like this one.
Yeah, people
It's
like
the
this
box-
one.
It's the
Yeah.
boxing picture, man. Me and
It
Tanner
is.
joke about it forever.
But
The
that's-
camera comes up and your hand gets ready. You gotta like grab it and like push it down.
I don't fight it.
You just do it.
I let it happen.
People like this one.
Everybody in the picture smiling.
Well, I smile and do it. You know what I'm saying?
Just I'm gonna hit you.
I'm gonna do it with a smile.
They like this.
I do my
yeah.
cracked out McGregor in the crowd face. That's when they put the camera on him when he's in the crowd in the UFC, and he just always looks cracked out.
Cracked out. Just cracked out. Late one night, Rocky heads to the bar to kind of maybe blow off some steam. The bartender doesn't look familiar to us, but probably should. It is, of course, Little Marie from the first Rocky movie.
I thought we were
The
talking about
fact
like, the
that
girl
he
who comes
calls
up
her
like, I'm going
that.
to close up because that was the older bartender.
That's the older
That's the
lady.
older
I was
one.
wondering if she
Hey,
was
Rock,
ever
how's
in-
it going?
I was wondering if she was ever in before, but I guess.
Rocky is, of course, disturbed by a young woman sitting with her group of friends down at the end of the bar. Who comes
Tanner,
up
do
and
you wanna
asks
tell us
Rocky to
about
buy
this?
a drink for him? To which Rocky's like, "I ain't buying y'all drinks," and then she freaks out on him, in a way. How do you feel, Tanner? Why you sitting over here like you bet?
God, I hate the way she talks so much. It makes my skin itch.
Why you sitting over here acting like you better than me?
Why'd you take your hand off me?
And buy us a round
You
of
ain't no,
drinks.
you ain't no better than me. You ain't no better than
You
me.
ain't nothing, okay? Hold on.
If you threw a Marlboro in
You
the
ain't
bathtub
nothing.
and it came to
Okay?
life,
That's
that's what
pretty
it
good.
would be.
That's
Fucking
good.
hater.
In February, that's wild. But,
Ugh.
They should have got J-Lo for this role.
okay. Can you be sure it wasn't?
100%.
Go back and watch it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
My final fun fact for everybody here: Jennifer Lopez making her acting debut
Debut.
in 2006. Yeah, I mean, what was she?
She was in.
She played in that.
Made in Manhattan before.
Yeah, that, and then she played in
Really,
that.
all that was before 2006.
Probably.
Oh, yeah, and then she played with Matthew McConaughey in some movie,
That was
too.
made in Manhattan.
Made in Manhattan, bro.
No. No,
You sure?
no. Was that the one where she was a wedding planner and they fell in love?
Oh no, that's The Wedding Planner.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
right.
exactly.
The Wedding Planner.
You're right. That was
What's the
wedding.
movie where she's planning weddings?
The Wedding
The
Planner.
Wedding Planner. Nah, it's the one
Makes
where
sense.
It's the one where she's playing a wedding planner. I can't remember the name. Got you. Bree.
Fuck you guys.
Made in Manhattan 2002.
2002.
Yeah, and that was
nice.
the same year, I think.
Oh, boys. Boys.
What?
Boys.
What?
1997. Anaconda.
Oh, that's
I
right.
I was like,
right.
how'd we forget that one, dude?
Because
Forgot
Ice Cube's
about
better?
Anaconda.
Yeah, dude.
When was The Cell? That's what I want to know.
2000.
2000. I was gonna
Yeah.
say The Cell was
The
pretty
Cell,
early on
yeah.
There was
too.
another one too that I was just thinking of. Was she in Deep Blue Sea?
No,
That wasn't before
She
1997.
was in
Oh,
Enough. Was that
Yeah, she
before?
was. Wasn't
and then
enough.
Blood and Wine, 1993 was her actual acting debut.
Yeah.
The girl goes and sits back over with her friends when the owner of the bar comes up and basically says like, "Hey man, you can get out of here. I'll close up." Rocky walks her to his van, offers her a ride home. We do learn that if this is, of course, Little Marie, the one who called him a creepo in the first movie at some point.
Screw you,
Insults like
creepo.
that last a lifetime.
Just good
Yeah.
insults. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, hear me out. I know it's Rocky, and everybody knows Rocky, but you really gonna just get off work and go get in a big white van?
With Rocky.
I mean, that's like saying that you wouldn't do that with like a pro heavyweight former champion today. You know what I'm saying?
I retract my previous statement.
You'd probably do it if that chick at the bar offered you a ride.
No, I hate her.
He thought about it though.
I hate her.
Rocky-
Every time I think of her face, my skin itches.
Oh god, that's crazy. Rocky
hate her that much.
walks her to his car or his van, puts her in, and then the drunks from the bar start yelling slurs at her and stuff. And Rocky's like, "Hey man, I can't let that slide. I'm Rocky." So he walks over there and roughs him up a little bit, gets him to apologize. Before taking her home, she tells him about, "Oh, I got a kid, blah blah blah, this and that." And Rocky's like, "I'm out."
Yep.
His dad was Jamaican.
Oh,
Dad on a
European.
cruise?
European from Europe.
Jamaican
said.
from Europe.
Yeah, that's what he
From
said.
Europe, yeah.
Yeah, European.
I like how they still keep him stupid.
Well, I don't know if it's acting at this point.
Marie, now the single parent of a teenage son named Stevenson, nicknamed Step.
Steps. I'm gonna put it on the step.
Which I think is kind of stupid.
It is what it is.
Steps instead of steps.
Rocky's relationship with Marie quickly blossoms over the following weeks as he bonds with her and Steps. Of course, this night ends with him giving her a card to come eat at the restaurant. They do later. Offers
Like
her
the next
job.
day.
Free.
The next day, she goes, "We hungry.
Well,
We hungry. Take some of that meatballs."
Rocky does let Steps kind of be more involved in the bonding process. They go to the Humane Society and stuff together, and they get Punchy, the little dog. It's a good moment when he's like, "How about?"
I like how he says it too. He's like punchy, and I'm like, he's like, okay. And he's like, tries not to take it as an insult, and then the clone goes, "Oh, you're really cool with that? Maybe I do like you." And then they all of a sudden are nice to each other.
There is a split second on Rocky's face when he does say Punchy, where Rocky's like,
Punchy.
"What'd you say to me?" And then he's like, "Oh, okay, you're a kid. It is what it is."
Yeah.
It's Rocky. being a lovable guy.
It's the Jamaican in him.
The European in him. Dumbass.
Paulie gets Rocky growing this relationship with little Marie and Steps. Offers her a job as a hostess at Adrian's, to which she does accept.
She gets mad though.
She gets a little mad, but
she's
you know,
mad.
Why you doing all
I'll
this?
stand here and wait for a bus to hit me or whatever said. She's like, well, I've been one for years. Didn't she say something like that?
he's like, "Close call."
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, a bus ain't rolling through here in like 10 years." He's like, "Ooh, close call."
Yeah.
She does reluctantly take the job. This is when Spider Rico's doing the dishes. Rocky comes into Adrian's and she's just like, "Hey man, your boy, he's downstairs." And you go down there and Spider Rico's doing dishes. He's like, "Yeah, well, let me do this because you got lucky in our fight." I was like, "Dude, we can run it back right now."
Montage.
Spoiler alert,
Right.
Spider Rico, I'm 20 minutes away from this movie from entering a fight with a heavyweight boxing champ.
Yeah.
Which, of course, we have probably cut over to at this point in time. That I probably just forgot to write down.
Yeah.
Mason the Line Dixon
Boo.
heads back to like his old childhood gym or whatever. Talks to his old original coach. I forget his name.
No.
The Duke of this guy's
The Duke
Duke.
of this guy.
This guy's Duke.
What was that dude's name that played Mason Dixon?
Antonio
Tarver.
Tarver.
Horrible.
Such a good boxer in real life, though, dude.
Not as bad as I remember him.
We
being.
were talking about this. I'm like, hey, I actually thought it was for his acting debut. I thought he did pretty good.
Mm-mm. No.
I'm definitely not saying he's a good actor.
I'm saying
He's
as a
just-
boxer with no acting experience,
Yeah.
I thought.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
I
yeah.
remember it being like unwatchable when I was younger, but like watching it now, I'm just like, okay, he's just like reading the lines.
I feel like he
basically,
was just a Phil character, because they needed some.
I don't
'cause
think I don't
that
think
when
he
they
was
did
meant to
cutscenes with
be-
him, it annoyed me. I was just like,
and
this
that's part
is
of the reason
horrible.
the movie falls a little bit for me is just because of the shallowness of the
Yeah,
opponent.
it's not.
But like, I don't think it's ever meant to be oh, this needs to be something Rocky needs to prove. He's just
When
there.
he was like, look, I'll carry you, but if you do anything, hurt me, hit me low, I'm gonna get you out of there. That's when I was like, okay, he's doing all right here. I like this guy.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah,
I don't know.
good luck
Paulie
getting him out of there though.
Paulie gets fired from the meatpacking plant.
Not empty-handed.
Not empty-handed. They give him a lump of brisket or whatever.
but he throws his paycheck on the ground.
Does he?
You didn't notice that?
No,
He was
didn't.
holding it, and then he just dropped it and grabbed his painting, and then it cut over to when he walked into Adrian's.
Huh.
I was like, stud. He's like, fuck
That's
this
crazy.
place.
Yeah, he takes his paintings and his lump of beef
Is that
to
the-
Adrian's.
Is that the first time we've seen him paint?
It
Yeah.
is.
It was so random, right?
Which so random. I'm like, what? Paulie's just a painter?
Well, it made me think that maybe he
So I was
painted
like, all
that
right, is there
giant
anything in this
mural in
movie
the
you want me to throw in
restaurant.
there for you? Just something you like to do? I like to paint. All right, you throw it in there, man. You throw it in there, and you can do it at the meatpacking place.
Dude, it's so funny,
It's
dude.
so random.
Because,
Yeah.
like, of course,
course it's Paulie.
Paulie's painting that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
But the way that his painting was, the style of it, I wondered if he painted that big mural in the restaurant of the two boxers.
Oh, I doubt
Because
it.
it looked the same. Like,
The color scheme was kind of similar, actually, and it looked like kind of.
Yeah, it's never confirmed or denied, but I'd like to think no because I don't like Paulie. I really like that picture.
I do
so.
too. Yeah, I do too.
So in my head canon, no, Paulie was like, I'll paint it. And Rocky was like, hey, maybe I'll have somebody else to do it this time. I believe in you, Paulie, but
Not that much.
not that much. It's fine. He's a little more punchy than me sometimes. Paulie comes into the restaurant and basically makes a scene when Rocky tells him, like, hey, man, since when do retirees get a lump of meat and not a watch? He's like, I got a watch!
He says it so many times.
Yeah,
I got a watch.
I got
like-
2 watches!
Just aggressive.
You got me a watch!
Just aggressive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then we find out, he's gonna.
Well, that's when you
go
find out
with him
he's
to
still
start training
racist.
with him,
Yeah. This is of course, at some point in here we do see the computer simulation where they're like, hey, could Mason Dixon beat Rocky Balboa in his prime? And most people on SportsCenter and stuff are like, oh no, he gets clobbered, dude. He gets absolutely housed. And then we see the little simulation where, yeah, of course, Rocky in the simulation eating
He's
a bunch of
doing
jabs.
Rockies.
He's doing the Rockyisms, getting punched in the face a lot.
Yep.
And then,
using-
hits the body and knocks him out cold. And this kind of rubs Mason the Lion Dixon's team the wrong way. They're all like, hey, man, nobody wants to watch you fight. You're boring.
They're like, hey man, that wasn't cool. They did that to you. And hear me out. He's only 60.
Yeah. I got something to say about that when we get to that
only
fight scene.
60.
His team is basically like, hey, man, there's no, like, exciting competitors for you at this weight. Nobody wants to watch you anymore. Pay-per-view numbers are incredibly low. What if we capitalize on this stupid simulation fight and try and get Rocky Balboa out here? And Mason, to his credit, is like, fuck that, dude. The guy's like
So
60.
fucking stupid.
Yeah.
That's so dumb. I can't believe.
Not to
you're doing
hate on the premise of this movie, but that is so fucking stupid.
it. It is very.
It
stupid.
is.
It is very stupid.
So does that mean you guys hated the Tyson fight then? Or hate that
Oh, yeah.
idea?
Also,
Without
so
a doubt.
as this is happening, they cut like the fight. They cut to Tyson in the crowd. I'm like, damn, crazy. I bet he won't be involved in a stupid circus fight like that.
Little would you know, almost
Oops.
20 years later, or whatever.
Dixon gets angry and storms out, headed back to his old gym. As we come back to Rocky, who bumps into those guys.
Yeah, they came to his restaurant. That's crazy.
They came to his restaurant. It's not the first time that's going to happen.
Nope.
Came to his restaurant, and they're like, hey, man, this is, of course, I think it's after he gets his license, but he goes to get his license, and they're like, hey, man, you passed all your tests with flying colors, but this committee has still decided that, like, hey, you're 60. We're going to say no. And then Rocky gives the big spiel about,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
man.
That was a
like,
good
I worked
spiel,
hard.
though.
Yeah.
Is there
I
anything
worked
you
hard.
ever wanted to do?
Yeah.
He gives him that talk. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, you're inclined to agree. This one specifically, I kind of side with them on a little bit.
Yeah.
But, like, he also makes a good point where it's like, hey, man, nobody's got the right to tell you that you can't do something after you've put all the work in and passed the necessary
Yeah.
tests to do it. There's not some pencil pusher nerd dude that's going to come in and be like, hey, man, you can't do this. And they're all, and to his credit, all of these dudes on the council are like, fuck,
You got a
he's right.
point. Yeah.
Approved.
Yeah, he was right.
He does talk to Robert wanting to fight again. And Robert's like, hey, man, maybe don't do that. You know, like everybody already associates me with you anyway. If you go,
He said it's been like 20 years since you fought. Okay, hear me out. Please don't fucking do it again.
if you go through with this, I'm gonna get like ridiculed, man. Like I feel like, and then he starts blaming again, you know, everything else on just everybody seeing Rocky, and then this is of course when Rocky, you know, lays down probably like one of the best speeches in movie history. You know what I'm saying? Quoted to this day and everything. You know, you see it in
Sitting
edits.
right in front of our treadmill at the gym.
Yeah. That was, I don't want it there, but like somebody put it there.
I don't want it there, but
that kind of corny stuff. I don't know.
like a cat poster.
It's not bad, but
It's not bad.
yeah, of course he gives him the speech, and I used to hold you in my hand right here. You know, I always thought you'd be so on and so forth, but somewhere along the line, you know, you started
being a little bitch.
Started being a little bitch. Stopped taking accountability, saying you're not where you want to be because of him, because of her, this and that.
Pointing in your face, telling you what to do.
And yeah, even just thinking about the speech in my head just always gives me chills, man.
It's really.
It's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. You know what I'm saying?
And it's true, 100%.
Absolutely true. Do we need to only make Vegeta edits on TikTok to this speech? I don't think so. I think it's disrespecting my boy.
Am I still gonna watch him though?
Sure. Yeah.
I think it's disrespecting my boy Vegeta, but I'll live. It's fine. Yeah, this is when Dixon's managers come to the restaurant and basically tell Rocky, like, hey, man, would you like to fight Mason Dixon in an exhibition? And he's like, I was kind of thinking maybe like some local guys.
So
like, I don't want to get like clowned out by these.
Here's what he actually, little fight, you know, not big fight, man, is what he said.
That's a quote.
Subtitled.
You're welcome.
All vowels.
That is a quote.
That is a quote.
Both men agree to this super circus fight, and it's off to the races with some hesitation, of course. Takes a little coercing, but they do agree. Mm-hmm.
Duke agrees to, you know, train him for this fight, and only because he's like, you let Apollo die, so when this dude starts hitting you, shoving that towel up my ass, and I ain't throwing it in
the towel.
Yeah.
Of course, our last appearance of Duke in this series. Spoilers, sorry. I guess I don't mean to spoil that for Creed, but Duke's
I don't think there's gonna.
Dude's
There's probably
like
a whole group.
Dude's like 80 in this movie.
Yeah.
Like,
he's old in this movie, but he gets us hyped up. Are we up to montage time yet?
We are just about up to montage here.
Give him
Rocky
montage time.
gets straight into training with Apollo Creed's old trainer Duke, who quickly summarizes that an aging Rocky can only compete by building strength and punching power as much as possible.
You got arthritis. We can't do this.
You got arthritis.
Your knees are bad.
So what we're gonna call upon here is some good old fashioned blunt force trauma.
Let's build some hurting bombs.
He says what? Horsepower, torque.
Yeah.
Let's build some hurting bombs. And at that point, I lose my
I'm
shit.
ready to fucking go.
I'm like, let's go, Duke.
Yep.
You know what you're doing here, Duke.
It's crazy. Me and him are watching this movie. He goes, we're just sitting there. I'm like, somebody messages our gym group. Is like, hey, I kind of want to go in. We're watching Rocky. I'll go in after Rocky. Yeah, we can go to the gym and train after this. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's montage time.
Yeah, straight up. He's like, I need somebody to help me with my hooks. And I looked at Tanner. He looked at me, and we're like, I'd fucking go to the gym.
I got a pretty good hook.
I'd
After
go to the gym
Rocky.
at 1 o'clock. And we did.
And we did.
Yeah, we get the montage here. Rocky doing the Rockyisms as he's running, punching the meat, working on a lot more strength building. This
Paulie
time. A lot
sneaks
of
him
power
in.
cleans, a lot of like squats and benching and all sorts of stuff to just build muscle this time around. Which I feel like I feel like we should have got a moment where he hits Dixon and Dixon's like, oh fuck, I cannot get hit by this dude again.
Yeah, so I'm still gonna
We
say what
didn't
I
get
gotta
that
say when
moment.
it's coming.
Which kinda sucks.
I mean, he drops him in the second or third.
He does, but like, there's never a moment where like we
Where
get
he,
a beat.
where he
where
gets
his
hit.
corner is like, don't let that dude fucking hit you again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he's got some power.
I also feel like we should have seen a little more damage on his face, but I get it. It is what it is.
Yeah, at the end of the montage, I suppose we're gonna rank this montage though too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, let's look this up. Right now, our montages are sitting at number 1.
4.
We got Rocky 4.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Rocky 3. Number 3, I didn't write any of these down.
I think it
The
went,
beach scene is
I
still
think it went
number one.
4,
the beach- it's 4, 3,
4, 3,
2,
1.
1. Because one didn't
1,
really
5.
have a montage.
Yeah.
and I'll write them down.
Kinda
Yeah.
did.
And then 5, or we did. Yeah,
5 is dead
five's
last.
Dead last. Yeah.
5 is dead last. Balboa,
rightfully
though.
so.
Balboa. I'm gonna put.
Better than Rocky 1?
I think it's better than Rocky 5 and Rocky 1.
Yes.
It's
So
just
that's
the
right.
blunt force trauma line. That
It is, and like the montage itself isn't too crazy. It's just it's the intro to the montage that makes it. hype.
Agreed.
So, but I'm not gonna put it over 4, 3, or 2.
I agree. I'd say right above Rocky 1.
Yeah.
Yep, that
That's
works. For me.
fair.
That's
Because that was like the first montage.
I'm trying to remember them all.
Yeah. There's a lot.
There's got to be a YouTube video where it's just like
Although-
all Rocky montages combined. Let's fucking go.
I will say that this one was way better edited and like way
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's a lot. They kind of figured out how to make one of these Rocky movies by this point in time with a less budget, too.
Hey man, we should listen to montage. Listen to me. I know a little something about montages. Okay.
I can't wait till we get to the fight because I'm gonna rip on him. So
Oh, dude.
I was going to say the night of the fight. Let's just jump right to it, baby.
okay.
I think we get a press conference, but like there's not too much going on with the press conference. Duke says like, "Hey man, everybody's got a puncher's chance." You know what I'm saying? And then Dixon, of course, gets pissy and walks off again.
Again, I like that it looks like an actual press conference,
Yeah.
like on HBO or pay-per-view. That was really cool.
Agreed.
I wonder if they actually did that during a fight night. You know what I mean? Like there was a card and HBO was like, we can do it this night.
Well,
Get
so
the
they-
like a
crowd.
Gyllenhaal situation.
So yeah,
Yeah,
that's,
yeah.
they did the Gyllenhaal thing too, and I'm
Yeah.
assuming that's how they did this for HBO because otherwise you have to pay
Buku.
thousands of extras to be there. You
Right.
know? It makes sense. I wonder what event it would be.
That's
for,
what I was
you know?
saying. Like I wonder what event it was.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that? UFC being like, "Hey man, you got to pay $800 for this ticket. Now you got to make noise and be extras in this Roadhouse movie,
Right.
and we're not going to pay you for that."
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Hey,
I mean, that's cool.
smart for them not paying $50 a head to fucking
I mean, I get it.
20,000 people.
I get it, but most people, they get paid like a couple $100 to just be in.
Yeah, that's true.
Movie. And this they had to pay to be in the movie. So,
Yeah.
is what it is. Spider Rico is praying for Rocky in the locker room before we walk out. Mason the Lion Dixon walks up to Rocky and says that line Tanner mentioned earlier, where he's like, "Hey man, I'm gonna do my best to carry you, but if you do anything to piss me off in this fight, I'm gonna lay you down." That's gonna be it.
Boo. That was a weak ass line.
Yeah, kind of.
There's no emotion.
Yeah. Like I said, I think that's intentional to a degree, where he's just
Could be.
like, I care so little about this fight. I just want money. That I don't really have any emotional stake in this fight. And does that help the delivery? Not really.
Mm-mm.
But does it make me forgive it more? I'd say so.
It was filmed during a real fight. It doesn't say who, but that was a real pay-per-view night. It didn't
Nice,
say what.
okay.
I wanted to know what fighters it was because I'm like, damn, that sucks. But in there, throw this in the fun facts, I guess. Somebody that was there said that Rocky was super nervous because he was afraid he was going to get booed because people were there to see another fight. But everybody was so hyped that it was like a surprise that Rocky was there filming that the whole crowd started chanting Rocky.
Also, that wasn't part of the movie.
They didn't
Rocky,
include that, but yeah,
Rocky.
apparently he showed up. They were like, yeah, we're going to film this quick. Whatever, blah blah blah, and then the whole crowd started chanting Rocky because they were excited. He
That's
was
awesome.
very nervous prior, thinking they're here to see a different fight, not me. I'm
Right.
old. They're not going to be happy about it, and then that happened.
Nice.
So, that's pretty cool.
Round 1 starts, and Mason Dixon is just fucking up Rocky. I mean,
I don't like this fight because
yeah,
dude,
let's
they
hear
make
it.
Rocky is so ripped. Like he just got done filming The Expendables. Like
Mhm.
he is just shredded. And then Mason Dixon looks like a dad bod.
Which
with
is
big
weird because
arms.
hear me out. Antonio Tarver fought at heavyweight. He's a little.
I'm
Tall.
not
he's
saying he
like
didn't.
6'3". He's like he's only like 220 pounds.
They just didn't make him look like.
but he looked like that for his whole career, and I
Really?
feel like people, that's how he's looked his entire career, and he always just kind of looks like
Hey man,
a little chubby.
I'm not saying that he was fat
Like
by any
skinny
means,
arms
but,
and like a little belly on him, but that dude fucking.
but all the other opponents that Rocky faced, like they're all fucking just.
yeah, I
fucking
get it,
just
I get
huge.
it, but hey, it's the peak of male performance, whether you like
It
it,
is,
or not.
but
you know what
I'm just saying, like for
Antonio
the
Tarver
movie
was
wise,
a legit fucking lineal champion, dude.
It takes a
Like,
lot
he
of
had all the
energy.
belts.
It takes a lot of energy to move all those bodybuilder muscles around.
It does, yeah.
And it makes more sense to just be athletic and not completely shredded on testosterone, steroids, and all sorts of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
So, anyways,
But
Rocky's
yeah,
on
for the
testosterone
sake of the
steroids.
movie, it's always scarier to see another just
Yeah.
brick shit house buff
Yeah.
guy. I get it. Dixon dominates round one, knocks Rocky down, makes him look like an idiot, 60-year-old.
Which we got to factor too. Like he said, I'll carry you, make it easy, whatever. Rocky hit him with a couple hard shots in that first round, and then he was like, okay.
He landed
All right.
9.
He starts going. Yep.
He landed 9.
Time to go.
Yep.
This all ends in the second round when Dixon breaks his hand on Rocky's
So he
hip.
did break his hand. Okay.
Yep, he broke his hand punching his hip. And
I
then
cringe every time because
Oh, you can hear it.
Been there.
Yeah, and then of course this gives Rocky the opportunity to kind of stage a pretty good little comeback as he starts ripping to the body, doing the Rockies, putting him in the corner, and eventually even drops him. Dude,
Doing the
boom, hits him and he hits the ground. It would have been crazy if he'd have won though.
I'm glad they didn't because come on now.
I hope you say that to one of your fighters. Be like, he's doing the Rockies.
This, of course, surprises the audience that are now chanting Rocky as the fight goes on. We get our round montage, as we do in these movies, of these two basically just slinging at each other. Eventually, Dixon's hand goes numb, and he starts getting his power back, and once again, taking the edge over Rocky. At the beginning of the final round, I love this part.
Paulie.
Or at the end of the round before the final round, Dixon's like, "You crazy ass old man, dude."
You want crazy old man?
And he's like, "You'll get there. You'll get there."
You'll get there.
And
And then he's like, this crazy.
Yeah,
This old man's crazy.
The
He's
line
here.
that Tanner's talking about at the beginning of the final round is when Paulie's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, Rocky,
This is the
look
last
at me.
round."
Last round of your life, make it count."
Yep.
And I love that line.
I do too. I do too.
I'm like, man, it's just there's something.
It could have been a real cool foreshadowing for Rocky dying in the 15th, but whatever. I'm just kidding. It wasn't even the 15th. Wasn't it like 8?
12.
12?
12.
It was 12.
Yeah, 12.
I liked. There's some really cool shots in this.
Super crazy
in this
to me
fight
too.
too.
Like, if you think about it from a boxing standpoint,
10 rounds.
10. Okay,
It was 10.
They used to have 15-round fights, and then people were dying.
Well, yeah.
So then they moved it to 12 for world title fights, 10 for any other fight, and like fucking
With the distance.
Rocky was doing 15s, during the whatever movies, and then now it's like down to 10. So
I thought there's some really cool shots.
Throughout this final round, the two are just dogging at each other, just like getting it on, dude, as they go. The fight ends. Both of them are standing. Nobody's down. Rocky hugs Dixon and says, "Hey, man, you're a great champion. Like, thank you." And this is, of course, I think, actually, when we get the "you're a crazy old man" line.
You'll get there.
Everybody comes into the ring to listen to the decision, and Rocky couldn't care less, man. He climbs out of that ring, and he's out. Like, he doesn't even care.
he said, "Man, I used to do 15s, but that 10 felt like 30."
The crowd, oh my god, dude! And I almost cry at this part, dude. When he gets like, I'm tearing up right now. You're about to describe it. He gets to the entrance of the locker room, and Robert's like, "Hey, wait a second, turn around." And everybody's giving Rocky a standing ovation as they're clapping for him. Rocky just lifts his hands in the air.
Also, he did have the decision on one of the judges' scorecards.
He did.
Split decision.
Yep, he did. 95.
Like I said, I'm tearing up just describing this.
It does
scene, like,
kind of
Jesus
piss me off
Christ.
just a teeny bit that they're like, and still there was no belt on the line. This was an exhibition. Even if Rocky won, he wouldn't have got the
He
belt.
said still undefeated though.
Oh, I thought they said and still champion.
No,
Still
undefeated.
Well, and
undefeated.
even then, an exhibition
Yeah.
wouldn't count towards his record anyway. So.
Well, yeah, but like,
But people still take that as a loss. So.
Oh yeah,
it's all about the show.
Image,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
What up,
But I was just like,
what
in
up,
my
Jordan
head.
in the chat? Welcome in, baby. We're at the end of the movie now. Like I said,
When he reaches out,
yeah,
touches
when he
the
puts his
hand.
hands up, he reaches out. Oh my God, it's just like what an incredible, emotionful scene.
Yeah.
Like, just this is it. This is the end of Rocky.
Roll credits and then post credit scene, he dies from his injuries.
And then everybody's giving him a
it was
standing
really
ovation.
the last scene of the movie was really good.
It's a very emotional scene.
Yeah.
Of course, Rocky returns.
We
home
did it.
to visit Adrian's grave one last time. As he comes up to the grave, he does in fact say to Adrian, "Yo, Adrian, we did it."
Mm-hmm.
The movie fades to black. That is Rocky Balboa.
Rocky
It was a good movie.
It's a good movie, man.
It is
dies
good.
2 days later from a brain bleed.
I don't know why you want Rocky to
Yeah,
die
why you
so
want
bad,
Rocky to
man.
die?
He's 60 and he got punched in the face a zillion times by a world heavyweight champion. This doesn't happen in real life. He dies. I'm sorry.
Hey,
He
man, I don't
dies.
know how to break this to you, man. This movie is make believe. This movie's not real, you know.
Fucking Rocky. I love him, but he dies.
Closing thoughts, Tanner. Now that
I think they did the first 5 movies some justice, and I think they wrapped it up in a really beautiful way. And I'm sure we'll never see Rocky playing Rocky ever again.
You would you would think, maybe. Who knows? It's possible. Nick, what do you think now that the movie's over and we talked about it? What are your closing thoughts on Rocky here?
It's definitely better than 3, 4, or 5, in my opinion. Well, maybe not 3, but 4 and 5. But that movie is good. There were shots during the fight that I really liked when it would cut to black and white and only show like the blood on his lip, things like that. The production was incredible for a Rocky movie. The fights were real. Like the fight was like a real fight. Like you'd pay $50 on pay-per-view to watch it. You know, I just thought the movie was really good. I really did. I just don't. There's some things I didn't like about it. Why would you bring back the little girl? Why don't you just say it was somebody you grew up with? Making him look like a creep again. I don't like that. Polly's still racist. I don't like that either. But otherwise, it was good. I would give it a solid 7 out of 10. 6.5, 7. But ranking wise, I don't know where I'd put it ranking wise.
I'm just making the title quick for it. So sorry. Just trying to get y'all to tell me your thoughts.
What about you, Tim?
Okay, my closing thoughts on the movie. Yeah, it's very clear that Sylvester Stallone cares about these movies quite a bit, and this movie is no short of showing that. He really does care, and it's nice to see because, geez, like these movies are so important for so many people. And yeah, I think there's a lot of questionably kind of bad stuff in these movies, and there's a lot of good stuff in the movies. A lot of really good stuff in the movies. Like I said, the standing ovation for Rocky is something that makes me like tear up and almost cry just describing the scene. So like to see it, it's really, really good. But then there's
I almost cried when I saw the Adrian thing. I was like, what?
Yeah, dude.
They killed her off?
Knowing what I know now after like looking up the HBO stuff earlier, I kind of wish they would have went with the alternate ending where Rocky wins. Apparently they shot 2 endings for it, and I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Oh, they did shoot another ending?
2 endings for it. Yep. It said they shot multiple endings so that they had different options as they were editing. But
yeah,
I think that's pretty fucking cool.
I think him not winning is
it's
the way
perfect.
to go.
Yeah,
you gotta have 3 of them.
He leaves
him
without
winning.
even caring.
He went rounds. He's the people's champ.
You have the ending we got. You gotta have one with him winning and then one with him dying in the ring. I'm just kidding.
He really wants it. He wants him to die so bad.
Crazy.
But you don't want Polly to die.
I got one Jordan Cornell's thoughts on this movie here.
Sucked.
He says Rocky Balboa was a solid and heartfelt return to form for the Rocky series after a disappointing entry in Rocky V. It successfully captured the underdog spirit of the original while exploring themes of aging, resilience, and legacy. Sylvester Stallone delivered one of his best performances, and the film had an emotional weight that resonated with longtime fans. The final fight was well executed, and the speech about life hitting harder than anything is one of the most iconic moments in history. And I'm inclined to agree.
He copied and pasted that.
Yeah.
It's like Wikipedia.
Let me go to movie reviews. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
And I also have thoughts from one Jonathan Batista as well.
Tamales are too spicy. Heard that, John?
All in all, I place it above Rocky V, but not much to say other than my nostalgia carrying how cool I remember this movie to be. This movie had sweet lines, and I love the 2000s feel of the movie. You can really tell this was released around the same time as the OG Spider-Man.
It's true.
What the fuck?
It's true.
I feel it, but damn.
I love it a lot. With that being said, I have their votes, so we can go ahead and vote from the bottom who thinks that this movie is better than Rocky V.
Yes.
Everybody, including Johnny and Jordan, who thinks it's better than Rocky III.
Yes.
I do as well, and so does Jordan. Who thinks it's better than Rocky II?
Yeah.
No. This is where I'm gonna stop it. For me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think Rocky 2 is better?
I think Rocky 2 is better than this. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So that will put Johnny voted it above Rocky V. Jordan voted above Rocky III. That'll put number 1 Rocky, number 2 Rocky 4, number 3 Rocky 2, number 4 Rocky Balboa, number 5 Rocky 3, and number 6 Rocky 5, where it belongs.
How do we still feel that Rocky 2 is not better than Rocky 3.
It is better than Rocky 3.
Yeah.
Run that list again.
Rocky 3 was at
Rocky-
like 5
Was it?
or 4.
Yeah, Rocky 4, Rocky 2.
Or I mean
3.
Rocky 4. How is it not better than Rocky 4?
Rocky 4 is the best, and I'm surprised it's not number 1.
It just got outvoted. You know.
Don't.
Rocky 4 is the best.
No, it's not.
Period.
Not even close.
Period.
Based
He
on
loves
what?
it.
The fact that we do not have it at number 1 is a travesty.
Oh God, you're crazy.
Yeah, he's absolutely crazy. Rocky 4 is good, but like, man, oh man.
No.
To say that it's better than Rocky 1.
To say it's
that's
better
a
than
travesty.
Rocky 2
That's a
is
travesty.
is
The
a
absolute
travesty
best.
too.
Probably one of the best movies of all time.
You know, at least for
It's
like
good.
at least for boxing movies in the year that it was released, probably.
Yeah, probably. I'll give it that.
I will update these rankings because I forgot that it's called Rocky Balboa, not Rocky 6. So I'll update that after the show. But that'll wrap up the show, boys. Nice short one without everybody here to talk, but that's okay. Keep it at a nice 55-minute clip. I like it. Ladies and gentlemen, what were your thoughts on Rocky Balboa? Is it as good as you remember? Did you rewatch it? Should you rewatch it? If you do, listen to this podcast with it. You know, you won't.
You won't.
It was better than I remember when I actually looked at it.
Much better than I remember, for sure. Tune in next week. Everybody should be back for Creed 1, baby.
I'm excited. Never
Let's
seen
go,
it.
dude.
Oh,
Nick, Johnny, and Jordan have never seen Creed, so
never
I'm
seen 'em.
very excited to talk about it next week with 3 people who have never seen it.
Okay, put it this way: are they better than Balboa?
they're pretty good. Dude.
I'd say so.
They're pretty good.
About equal, better.
For sure, equal.
If you take out
'Cause
your
I don't-
nostalgia and look at them from like a different
I gotta watch it.
it's- they're
I gotta
fucking
watch it again because I have a vision in my head of what it is.
Yeah.
I just gotta watch it critically.
I'm
you know
excited
what
to
I'm
see Michael B. Jordan though.
good.
Yeah.
I heard he's good in these movies.
Daddy.
saying? If you like the show, remember twitch.tv/velocitypod is where you need to go to subscribe, to follow, to interact with us live in the chat, and let us know how you feel about the Rocky movies. Did we put Balboa too high? Did we not put it high enough? You know, let us know what you
Number
think.
4 is too high. Way too fucking high.
Remember, you can go to Spotify, type in Velocity Entertainment, and find every episode of Rocky in Review. Also, every episode of Velocity Entertainment Podcast, and so on and so forth. You can find past reviews we've done, like Jurassic Park, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Pirates of the Caribbean. Sounds like they just worked out a deal with Johnny
Yep.
Depp for him to come back.
Yep.
So we're going to have to bring Michaela back in to do an episode
Fish
of that.
pussy.
To talk about Fish Pussy again. Very exciting year for In Review. I'm excited.
So at the end of this, we're gonna re-rank them, right?
No.
Fuckers.
The rankings got to stay. All right. I appreciate you guys for coming. Thanks, Tanner. Thanks, Nick. Thanks, guys in the chat for watching.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
Tune in next week when we talk about Creed.
I'm excited.
What should we do for this
Are
one?
you just gonna fart?
That's how winning is done. Give me a that's how winning
Oh
is
yeah.
done.
Wait, what we're gonna do? That's how winning
That's
is
how
done?
winning
Oh,
is
okay.
done. Give me
That's how winning is done.
I can't compete with
I
that.
like it. I like it. You got to try it.
You go next.
That's how winning is done.
All right. Ready? That's how winning is done.
That's a good
Oh, that was pretty damn
was
good,
deep.
actually. Fuck. I like you had like the.
It was deep. It
You
was
had
too
like
deep.
the vibrato.
It was about
I
deep
like that.
enough.
I like that. All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Oh, so I don't win?
I'll give it to you.
No,